Bedbugs can cost thousands of dollars if they infest our homes. And now it's looking like we have bats and cavemen to thank.
News on 6 reporter TESS MAUNE introduces us to the TU professor whose study goes back 250,000 years. Tess?
The bedbugs used in the study actually came over from Europe, but all of the research was done right here in this lab on the University of Tulsa campus.
The best kind of bedbug is a dead one, most would say, and that's exactly how they come into TU biology professor Dr. Warren Booth's lab.
We send out packages on a weekly basis to pest control companies, hoping that they'll return vials of bed bugs.
His most recent study was published in the journal Molecular Ecology. It zeroed in on where bedbugs came from and why they reappeared in the 1980s. And based off DNA studies, he says there are two distinct groups of the blood-sucking pests.
So this paper essentially shows that there's a bat-associated lineage and a human-associated lineage in Europe.
Booth says bats were the first host to bedbugs in ancient times. Bedbugs were introduced to humans 250,000 years ago, he says, when people shared caves with bats. That's when Booth says some of the parasites feeding on bats evolved and started feeding on humans instead.
We need to understand the evolutionary history of the organisms before we can bring it right down to what's happening here.
Booth says bedbugs were brought to the United States from other countries. So far, only the human-feeding group has been found here, and that population is surging.
You know, we've shown in a previous study that it only takes one pregnant female bedbug to infest an entire building. And it takes about 2 years for that to happen.
Booth says U.S. bedbugs are 90% resistant to insecticides, but his European study and research being done in his lab now could one day help find a sure way to eradicate the pests once and for all.
It keeps me awake at night, not bedbugs infestations, but thinking about what we can do with them.
Right now, students here at TU are actually studying bedbugs that are found right here in Oklahoma, and their findings could eventually help with controlling the population. TESS MAUNE, News on 6.
I hope Tess didn't bring any of those back with her.
Oh, I hope not. Sleep tight though, huh?
Yeah, right.